Coming back with another video. In this video is discussing the Moors. Who were the Moors of Spain and different parts of Europe that was rulers of those different areas in Europe. So we're going to discuss this topic of the Moors. And by the way, this video was actually inspired by the brother Lions Roar page on YouTube, and actually he hit me up with the knowledge, and I decided to do a follow-up video, you know what I'm saying, just putting out this information to the brothers and sisters who don't know too much about the Moors. So basically we're just going to deal with the word Negro and the word Moor. So we're going to go into the Webster dictionary just to actually see what it means. So basically the first one that we're going to get into is the word Negro, and it reads, a member of any of the indigenous dark-skinned peoples of Africa, a person having some African ancestors, a black person of or for Negroes. So that's what the word Negro means. Now the word Negroid reads designating or of one of the major groups of human beings, including most of the people of Africa. So that's what that means. Now we're going to look up what the word Moor means. Get into the word Moor. Oh, wrong page. I think I lost my page. Okay, here it is right here. Okay, now this is the definition of Moor, and it reads, a member of a Muslim people of Northwest Africa, Moorish. Okay, this is page 35 of the book, Blacks in the Dutch World, page 35 once again, just to show you that there was a difference between the Negroes from the other African tribes. It say, although some tribes are encountered who practice cannibalism, on the whole, Negroes are not savages. They practice agriculture and cattle breeding in various industries. They smelt and work iron, weave and dyed cotton. Okay, this is page 26 of the same book. And it reads, goods and have much aptitude for commerce. They form states whose government, however, is mostly horribly despotic. And their religion, superstitions, and fetishism occupy a larger space. However, Islam is making increasingly greater inroads among Negroes. So that's how they became Muslims. So let me read that again. This is the Bible, the book of Acts 13:1. And it reads, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon that was called Niger or Nigger, and Lucius of Cyrene. So they was called Niger or Nigger. Now we're going to go to the Bible, the Compact Bible Dictionary, and we're going to look up the word Ham. So this is the definition of Ham. It's saying, perhaps hot, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. Through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So if we're not the descendants of Ham, like the Ethiopians and all the other families, the Canaanites and the Libyans, then who do we come from? Let's go to the word. Let's go to the book of Acts 13:1. Oh, Salaki, I already went to this one. Okay, now we're gonna basically go to the book Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers, page 55. Just going back over the topic of the Moors, like going more deep into their history in Europe, which you can see right here is the coat of arms of the Moors. The royal families of Europe, as you can see, the nobility of the families of Europe, they were Moors, who were the Moors. So yeah, we're gonna go to the page 55, and it reads, these Africans were Moors, sometimes called Arabs because of their language. To the earlier Greeks, the Moors were a black or dark people, Maros, and to the Romans, Marus, a black, woolly-haired people known synonymously as Ethiops. Nigger or Niger, which we read in the Bible, Simeon was called Niger. Negro and Effer, African, even as late as the 5th century AD. Procopius, Roman historian, calls the people of Morocco black. So with that, we're going to go to page 'Okay, back in the book Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers, page 123. And it reads, Watts says, an interesting gradations of all shades down to the black is exhibited by the Jews. Especially dark were the Jews of Spain and Portugal. The Portuguese Jews were very dark, says Pritchard. The Duchess Ambrance, wife of Napoleon, ambassador to Portugal, say that the Jew, the Negro, and the Portuguese could be seen in one single person. Because remember, the Moors, they went to Portugal, and that's where they was at until Columbus actually kicked them out of they was in Slovakia, they was in Spain and Portugal until Columbus came and kicked them out of Spain.